I've been asked quite a bit about doing a difficulty settings guide for those of you who are new to Motorfest and just need quick and accurate information. I don't like wasting anyone's time, so let's go. Alright, starting off with the preset. Simply put, this option allows you to choose from 3 different difficulty levels. It will arrange the settings according to what the devs believe are varying levels of difficulty. This is for people who are not real interested in reading through the settings to figure out which ones they want to customize. You can choose one of these presets if you want and just not watch the rest of the video, but the one thing about it you should know is that by using any of the 3 presets, amateur, intermediate, or expert, the game will default your gearbox type to automatic, which is a setting in the control panel, not the difficulty panel. So if you went through your control settings already and then you come here and change your preset, you're gonna have to go back to your gearbox in the control panel and change it to what you had it to. Every single time you change this setting, it's gonna switch your gearbox setting back to automatic, which is annoying if you plan on playing on manual. Anyways, in the PvE category, the event difficulty is something that you'll probably be switching depending on which event you're doing. If you're grinding for parts, you may want to have it on 1 out of 5 so that the AI isn't in your way too much. However, if you're grinding money, you may want to have it on 5 out of 5, provided you can consistently beat those AI racers. You can switch this setting easily from this menu or from the event start screen, so don't worry too much about it in here. Under guidance, we have 3 settings. The first is the racing line. This is the dotted line that appears on the ground and changes color based on what the game suggests for your speed. Even though this is in the PvE category, this racing line also appears in the grand races. The first option is completely off. Now for beginners, I do not recommend doing this. Start with the full racing line. It helps with identifying corners and fills in some of the gaps for you when it comes to track knowledge. Once you feel comfortable with the physics of the game and the routes, then switch to braking only. This will also help with identifying the corners, but won't get in your head as much. I do recommend switching to braking only as soon as you feel somewhat comfortable, because the full racing line actually slows down your ability to learn the routes. You become reliant on the line to tell you where to go rather than your surroundings, and your brain doesn't memorize the routes as fast. Once you're really comfortable with braking only, then you can either stay there or switch it to completely off. I know some really high level racers who leave it off and some who use the braking only setting. It's completely up to you when the time comes. Auto braking and auto steering are just that. They are for new to racing game players, players whose skill level needs a little bit more time to progress, and players with physical limitations. There's nothing wrong with any of those. If you need those, definitely turn them on. All types of racers play this game and everyone is very welcome. Next is rewind. Rewind allows you to hit a button and rewind what just happened. It's there mostly for emergency purposes, but there are some money and parts grind methods that include its use. This setting only affects the rewind that's in the PvP events. If you turn it off, you will still have the ability to rewind in free roam, and it's off by default in the grand races. I turn this setting off because then it allows me to reset my car rather than rewinding it. Resetting your car comes in handy, particularly in summit events where resetting the car on certain corners is faster than slowing down to take the turn. Summit events are all about getting the best time possible, so every 10th of a second counts. The last one for PvP is Nitro. By turning this off, you are disabling Nitro on all of your cars. The only real reason to do this is when you're grinding XP and you're looking to maximize your XP gains. I have an XP guide linked down below if you want to see an explanation of that. Other than that specific case, there's really no reason to turn this off. Hey guys, real quick, about 75% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. If you find this info helpful, please consider subscribing. I bring multiple Motorfest videos to you every single day. Alright, let's get back to it. Moving on to the global category. These settings affect your experience in all vehicle classes and all game modes. Cockpit view is just that. Turning this on will lock you into the first person behind the steering wheel mode. It will also give you bonus XP for doing so. The rest of the settings here affect your car specifically. Each will do a different thing, so starting with ABS, ABS allows you to maintain grip under full braking. I highly recommend keeping ABS on. It just makes the game more pleasant and less challenging. Turning this off will make braking a huge challenge for you in most scenarios, and locking of your wheels is just so bad for your overall performance in a race. Traction control, when it's turned on, senses the tire slippage and reduces your throttle, no matter how much throttle you're giving it, in order to maintain the grip, which actually yields better acceleration. I highly recommend putting this on comfort for all racing applications. I do adjust this from time to time though when using drift cars, because you generally don't want the tires to grip in drift scenarios. ESP is an electronic stability program. Basically, this makes your car extremely stable in corners, but it does it by limiting the power to the wheels, which is super bad for your overall time in a race. Unfortunately, even having this on sport is too much. The vast majority of cars can be tamed with the pro settings as opposed to using this setting. It's way faster with this off, so that is of course my recommendation. Drift Assist is actually really neat. When entering and maintaining a drift, it doesn't allow your car to over-rotate or spin out uncontrollably. It makes drifting a lot easier and it's highly recommended. Counter Steering Assist is also very neat. This makes the car countersteer for you when doing drift events. I recommend having this on comfort for most cars, but some cars do require slight adjustments. It really just depends on the tune. Drifting with both the counter steering and drift assist on is a complete breeze, even for people who are unfamiliar with drifting or are less skilled in that department. Nonetheless, I do recommend both for all players. Airplane Handling Assist makes it so that you don't have to control your planes on multiple axes in order to make a banked turn. Without this setting on, in order to turn the plane to the left or to the right, you would need to rotate the plane first by moving the joystick to the left or the right, then steer the plane by moving the joystick up or down. With the Airplane Handling Assist on, you can simply just move the joystick to the right or the left, and the plane will perform a banked turn for you. It completely simplifies the plane handling, and it's the setting that most players use. And finally, Stunt Assist does two things, and both are specific to an area of the map known as Hoonigan Island. In this area, there are donut circles and grind rails, and Stunt Assist magnetizes your car to those features to help you perform the stunts. It works in both free roam and in the Hoonigan playlist. I definitely recommend putting this on comfort unless you are specifically looking for a challenge in that department. Alright, lastly, if you want to support the channel in a huge way, you can become a member of the Militia by hitting the join button on this video or on the channel homepage. It's only $5 and it helps me out a ton. Being a member means you get members only emojis for live stream chats and the comments section, sneak peeks at upcoming videos, and members only posts. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.